Hey book reader friends, this is Chrissy with Tatted Hat Girl Reads, and we're here for another video. Today's is pretty simple. We're going to talk about the books that I am currently reading, the books that I just finished, and maybe we'll go through a quick book haul run of the books that I've just picked up. Not really go through them, but to just show you a few things that I picked up. So let's get started. So in the year of 2025, I picked up this habit of trying to read a self-help book roughly one a quarter. I've kind of thrown that out, but I have picked up Choose to Win. Zig Ziglar's son has written a book, and so far I am loving it because it's putting me in that headspace of accomplishing things that I want to accomplish and to not let things like self-doubt get in the way of that. The first story comes about where a housing market crashed and this realtor didn't feel like he had anything to offer. How could he help anyone? He's lost everything himself. And Tom Ziglar said basically, how can you say that your story is going to help someone need your experience? It's not just you telling your story, but your experience is going to help them get through the exact same problems that they are now experiencing, that you have already been through. And I think that's fantastic. So I am looking forward to finishing this one. I am only reading a few pages a day. I do need to dig in faster, but I do so much love this book. I actually picked this book a while back on a flight. So I need to finish this because that flight was a while back. So the next one that I am currently reading is The Howling Dark. This is book 2 of the Sun Eater series, and I am loving this one. I am listening to an audiobook, and then like if I hear a quote or something I like, I'll pull up my ebook and highlight it, and I kind of keep my progress, which I need to update in the hardback so I can kind of see my progression, because that makes me feel really good when I'm listening to an audiobook. These audiobooks, if you've already read the books, the audiobooks are spectacular. And Hayden is just a fantastic character. I enjoy this journey. I love how he has rebelled against his upbringing just to land right where he was meant to be. And from my understanding, book 2 is going to be very much that conversation, and I'm here for it. Loving it. I am only, I think, 11 or 12% in, so I will update you on how well that is going. Another book I am reading, I'll talk about another day, actually, because I don't have that book. I'll talk about it probably in March. That one is one that I'm co-reading with my husband, buddy reading with my husband, and that one has been fantastic. It's got a Japanese theme to it, but I'll talk more about that once I have the physical book. One book I have finished is Nine Goblins. Now, I didn't realize when I bought this one that this book had been out by T. Kingfisher for quite some time. I want to say for 2020, actually. You always miss the exact page you're looking for. I should really flag those. Okay, so this edition is first released this year, 2026, in hardback. First time it's come out in hardback. But the story was released in 2013, and I'm going to say it was adorable. It was witty. It was goblins that you just could not help but to adore and love. My husband read this little tiny book with me too. Again, another book he finished before me. But it was absolutely a sweet story. There was just so much personality to each character, and I didn't know what to expect from this, because each book that I read with T. Kingfisher feels so different for the most part, unless I happen to be in a series, of course. But this one had so much banter. High Mischief is a fantastic way to describe this book. It's just playful, and if you want to laugh out loud, I highly recommend. This was a 5-star for me. Absolutely fantastic. Another book I just finished, Empire Silence, which, makes sense since I'm on book 2. I have loved the series. I will be finishing it. My husband brought up the idea of let's do one of the books a month, and so basically 7 months, and we'll be done with the series. I don't know if I can follow his journey on finishing this, but I will try. But it has been engrossing. I love Red Rising, and I don't want to compare that. But what I do like about this book, that I do like about Red Rising as well, is you didn't feel like you were lost in space. You didn't feel like you were in some foreign place that you didn't recognize. And I love that. It wasn't so much about the worlds, even though you got a grasp for what that was like as well. With Christopher Ruccio's writing, I have to say, you kind of are getting led. You know you're headed this way, but you don't know how it's going to happen. And I love that about his style of writing. I love the character connection. I love the conversation and the feelings that he gives each character. You really do bond with the story from page one. I apologize if you hear some hammering. We are getting a fence installed today because we just moved to South Carolina. And unlike Texas, every house doesn't come with a fence. So not that they really come with fences in Texas, but that's kind of what it felt like. Every house had a fence there. Here, the neighborhood we moved into, they did not have fences. So we are now approaching our second month here, and we're finally getting the fence. It just unfortunately took our time getting it set up, and we are so excited. Anyway, story time over. Assassin's Quest is another book I just finished. All right, one thing I will say is that I'm doing these in audiobook. They're spectacular. I can do other things while doing housework, or while listening to this. I can do housework. I can do play with my cats, whatever it is I want to do that day. I can rearrange my library, rearrange my office, and just zone into this book. It's so relaxing to listen to. You can zone out, but it's somehow like you didn't miss anything really if you accidentally did zone out. Not that there's not anything going on, because there is. This was definitely an emotional book. It was slow to start, all the way to 40%, and then 50, 60, 70, and then definitely 80 and beyond. It got wild. It was heart-wrenching at times, and Fitz's journey, without giving any spoilers, really does kind of break your heart a little bit for everything that he has given. I don't know how I feel about his story, but I loved the story, if that makes any sense. Wished more for him, but at the same time, not everything can have its beautiful bow, but yet it can still be beautiful. Do with that what you will, and decide if you want to read this series. It's the Farseers trilogy. This is book 3, Assassin's Quest, and I am here for the next series. I'm looking forward to getting on the next one. Okay, now we are at the phase where we're going to go through some books that I've picked up. I'm not going to really talk about them too much, because most of them I know nothing about, and they were books that I just happened to be in a place and just decided to buy the book because of its cover, probably, if I had to guess. But the first one was Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I don't remember if it was my daughter who read this one or where this has come up so much in front of my face, but I was at this bookstore that we have in town or close by that is a library's bookstore. So they resell their books. Instead of just doing a book sale, they actually have a store. And I love that idea so much. I didn't see a lot there the day I was there. I have a feeling it's something you got to know when the big releases come, or just luck of the draw and go often. But the books are only like $1 and $2, so it's fantastic. I think paperbacks are $1. So I went ahead and picked this one up. Felt like a great find. The next one, I was very excited about this because I love James Baldwin. I was introduced to James Baldwin at UNCW, University of North Carolina, Wilmington, when I was attending there for creative writing. And Another Country. I haven't read any more James Baldwin. No, that's not true. I read one more book since I left school. But I love his writing. He engrosses you into his world, and the way he writes it almost romanticizes the negativity and the sadness. And he makes it alluring somehow. Not that he has made it okay for these things to happen, but makes it in a way that you don't feel like, oh, this is too hard, I need to put the book down. You can face what he faced through his writing, and it is fantastic. I suggest, if you've never read James Baldwin, to definitely pick up one. He's definitely got books smaller than this one, but I'm looking forward to that one. I would love to get on some more nonfiction this year, to be honest with you. I read a lot of fantasy, and I would love to get on some more nonfiction. So getting in more James Baldwin and a few others would make me happy. This is another one I picked up at that store. The James Baldwin book I paid $1 for. This one I think I paid $2 for. It was kind of interesting. This author, I'm not going to say his last name, but Randy, I'll try, Pausch, Pausch. I will tell you on this channel, I suck at names, and that's why a lot of times I won't tell you the author, because I don't like messing up someone's name. It's so disrespectful. But he had cancer, and he was to give a lecture, and this book is literally called The Last Lecture. And I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know his circumstances beyond what I've read so far. And I'm just looking for, sometimes you watch these speeches that are given to schools at graduation, and you just can't help but to get motivated for the rest of your life on some of them are that just wonderful. Steve Jobs is fantastic. Matthew McConaughey's is great. There's so, actually, I think his was an award speech. But there are just so many others that I watch. I'm like, I'm ready. And I'm well past that era, but it still you kind of go back to those and feel good. So I'm looking forward to reading this and seeing also the outcome of his story. Now, this one is the next, actually just this one is from, I thought this one was from Book of the Month. Let me see. This one may not be. I may have just bought this one. I don't remember. Freedom Lost, Freedom Won. And there is a little tear, which is going to break my heart. I do not like my covers being tore. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Again, I think I've mentioned this one in one of the other videos, but it is 200 years worth of history. And I'm looking forward to, even though again, it's going to be hard history, I'm looking forward to seeing it from someone else's eyes, reaccounts. I'm here for that. Another book I picked up. I think I ordered this one from Amazon. I had this one on a pre-order. Isles of the Ember Dark. Nothing to say on that. I think you all know pretty much what Brandon Sanderson is doing and what he is up to. And that is book 5 of his secret book series. And I'm looking forward to getting on that one. I still have to read Sunlit Man. I'm very scared of that one because out of the 4, my husband didn't care for that one as much as the others. And I hear that kind of across the board. So I'm scared to read that. So I might read this one first, kind of to get me back in that world. Those are the only books I have been exposed to with Brandon Sanderson. I do have other books. And that is a goal this year too. My year is really lofty, I'll be honest. Another book I picked up just because it's pretty, Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop. I am very excited about this one. Very short, quick. It looks like if you had a rainy weekend, fantastic. And we're in South Carolina. We've been getting a lot of ice and snow until this week, and we're finally hitting 70-degree days. Today is 72, and I'm sweating literally in my library right now because I don't want to open a window and create a noise. Last video I did with my heater running and you could hear it. So I denoised the video to get that out. But my husband said it sounded like my video was hollow. So everything is shut off this time. This library is bigger. You can't tell it from here, from where you are, of course, and where I'm sitting. But it goes outward just enough to create a hollow space. And that's a little bit of a problem. I do need to figure out the sound. Comment in the comments below if you don't mind if the sound quality sounds okay to you. If not, I may have to invest in a better mic. I do have DJI's mics, both the mini and the other, whatever those are. But I have found those sound like poor quality to me in these kind of environments and spaces. They sound great when you're outside and doing, loud space, very big open spaces, but it's almost like it's still hollow in here. So I know I need to do something different. I just don't know what. All right. Sarah A. Parker. She has another book that, was really popular last year. And I'll be honest, I walked away from this one at Barnes & Noble's and then came back another day and was like, I'm going to do it. Screw it. It is too pretty. I want to read this book. I want to hold this book. I want to feel this book. The colors are absolutely gorgeous. It has a beautiful shine on it. Like I'm literally watching it in the camera right now. But it just was so fantastically beautiful. When the Moon is Hatched is the one she wrote last year. I'm glad that was on the front because I couldn't recall it myself. But I haven't read that yet either. I need to get on that too. All right, that wasn't hard enough. I had mentioned that I bought this one on a pre-order video that I had done. This one's Wicked Onyx. Again, another book because of the cover. Another book because it just looked easy and fun. And with some of the bigger books that I do read, the epic fantasies, these are nice breaks. I don't live in the genre romantasy. We're going to word it that way so I don't offend anyone. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I like suspense so much, mystery so much, fantasy so much, and God knows I'm loving some sci-fi lately. I don't really have time to stay in this genre as long as I do other ones. But somehow my bookshelves gravitate towards it. It's like I just end up with them. All right, next book. This one's going to be a buddy read too, A Day of Breath by Darby Cox. I am excited about this one. When I was reading the summary on it, I am a little nervous now, but the cover does look very epic. I don't know if you can see the dragon up here, and it was only $20. Probably if I ordered this one from Amazon, which I don't remember. If I did, then this one was cheaper than that probably. But this one, margins are pretty decent. Spacing's nice. All right. If you followed one of, I think a couple videos back, I went on this Adrian Tchaikovsky book kick, and Adrian Tchaikovsky, I got it that time. This is why we don't talk about names. And I've practiced that one several days, not just times, but days. Shards of Earth. I've heard this series is really good, which means I also have, this is the last book I also picked up, and this is the last one I have to show you too, Children of Time. I'm really excited to get into these, and I didn't want to buy a whole, I'm bad about buying the whole series And then I have a huge undertaking, like Brandon Sanderson's. I don't know if you can see Sun Eater back here, but those are big series, and then that takes up my year. So I didn't go ahead, because I have so many of his other books that I've bought now that I need to read. And I'm just starting his library in my library, and I'm so here for it and excited, but I didn't want to buy, I think it's 3 or 4, maybe even more of each of these, and I just didn't feel like spending that much money. But I've mentioned this before, I'm a huge Orbit publisher fan. So if you see my shelves, it's typically Orbit or Tor, and a few others sprinkled in for sure. But I just gravitate to Orbit's authors, and they find the most spectacular authors. They release the most spectacular books that deal with world building, character building, that just get me, and I can't help it. I just love it. So I went ahead and I just splurged. But that's the way most of this book haul went, was that if I liked the cover or was slightly interested, I just bought it. And, I can always donate to a little book thing somewhere, and if I don't like it, and also if I do enjoy it, then I got some wonderful stories through the year just by picking up off of a book cover, But you guys, thank you for being here. I hope this book video wasn't too boring. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe as always. But let me know in the comments below what you are reading. I would love to hear from you. I want to get some conversations going down in the comments. Let me know what you're reading below. I want to know about you. Have a great day, you guys. Till next time. Bye.